I love fantasy anime. What's up everybody? Solo Leveling has dropped. Now, before I get into anything, I haven't read the manhwa and I knew absolutely nothing about Solo Leveling until I started watching it. I'm surprised I hopped on another fantasy themed anime. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the D&D aesthetic, but I haven't been able to touch the garbage slopfest that is things like current fantasy and isekai anime. Every power fantasy and isekai nowadays is just straight slop for 14-year-olds to dream about. But hey, I was one of those kids too, unfortunately. As someone going into this show knowing nothing, it has surprised me. But because of Twitter, it hasn't been without controversy. As usual, the internet complained after the first episode came out. Mainly because look how good the art is in the manhwa. It's actually stunning, and some people thought it didn't live up to the expectations, but we just had to let them cook, and cooking they have been. So I sat down and thought, why not give it a shot? And here we are. Basically, Solo Leveling is about modern day Koreans playing RuneScape in real life. These interdimensional portals called gates started appearing everywhere around the world, and they lead to these dungeons that are full of your run-of-the-mill fantasy creatures. Things like goblins, wolves, all that sort of stuff. Random people have also awakened supernatural abilities to be able to combat these monsters. These people are called hunters. Hunters are all assigned a rank. These ranks are between E and S, and you can't get stronger from the rank you're assigned. So you're sort of just stuck there. There's no way to level up. So it is literally just down to chance whether you are an S rank or not. The main character is a guy named Sung Jin-woo. This dude is an E rank hunter. Basically a bottom of the barrel hunter who is struggling to make ends meet, and he can't fight really anything. The only reason he's doing this is to help out his mother who's in hospital and help pays for his sister's education. A pretty noble cause, so I respect that, but he's more of a hindrance to anybody in a dungeon, because he's always getting clapped up by the monsters. When I mean clapped up, I mean he's losing to goblins. So it doesn't really matter what mission he takes, every single mission is extraordinarily dangerous for him. Luckily for him, there's a girl named Juhee Lee. She's a B rank healer who's carrying him through these dungeons. If it wasn't for her, he would not be alive. Sung joins a group and decides to go on a casual dungeon raid. Everything goes pretty well until they find a mysterious tunnel that isn't supposed to be there. They go down the tunnel, and they end up finding an extension to the dungeon. So they arrive at this giant gate, which obviously has some sort of Dark Souls boss in it. They still decide to enter even though there's like maybe a few B ranks in there. Then we get the first major event in the story, which is half of the party dies. They get absolutely slaughtered. Pulling this terrifying grin, the main statue just destroys half of them. This one dude thinks he's the main character, runs across, and just gets speed blitzed. And these statues are said to be as strong as some S-rank bosses, so these guys have stumbled into the wrong dungeon. And to be honest, I did not expect the brutality that these scenes had. Like seriously, they weren't shy of having people die on screen. Since Jinwoo already lost a leg, he ends up being the one to stay behind. And he gets absolutely brutalized. When he's about to die, a small pop-up comes up in front of his face. He basically has access to like a game menu of sorts. Sung has managed to gain the ability to level up, something that was previously thought to be completely impossible. So you can kind of tell where this series is going to go from here. But the question is, why do people actually like this series? When you look at it in face value, it really isn't anything special. Solo Leveling still follows a lot of the cliches as the other shows do. It's not like the premise is mind-blowing or anything, but the way it's executed is perfect. Though none of the characters have much development apart from the main one, and even he falls victim to a lot of the tropes in the latest episodes, people are still loving this show. You want a relatively likable character to root for. It's a fundamental for almost any show. As Sung gets stronger, he earned where he got to. Sung wasn't just weak, he was the weakest hunter in the world. And look where he is now. The world is still stacked in his favor, don't get me wrong, but I honestly don't hate it. He's able to gain a second chance, but he still has to work for it to get stronger. He isn't immediately overpowered like a lot of other characters. He doesn't have instant planet-destroying feats. We actually get to see his progression throughout the series, and his character changes quite a bit too. I mean, he got jumped, and instead of running away, he kills every single person. I don't think you'd be seeing this dude doing that. Solo Leveling is a fun show. If you're looking for cool shit and pure action, you've come to the right place. It's satisfying just to see Sung shred through tons of monsters. There isn't a huge amount in terms of character development with the rest of the cast, or much of a cast in general so far. But that's not really what the show's about, and that could come on later. Cool shit is what the show's here for. Solo Leveling knows what it is, and oh boy does it deliver. There's a few more in-depth shows this season, but if people are looking for mindless badassery and pretty animation, this is the show that they're gonna watch. I am definitely one to dislike a lot of shows like this, but this show is just so good at being what it is, I'd still enjoy watching it. I think it's deserved all the credit that it's earned. If I got hit by a train and became a 14-year-old again, I'd be hyping this up to the moon, especially with all the cool gamer shit. But are you guys gonna be watching this show? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see y'all in the next one.